Greetings YouTube. Today I am shooting and printing a really interesting project and I thought I would make it into a video. So this is a really cool piece of art by a customer of mine named Mikado, and the kind of tricky thing is it's black paper and white ink. As you probably know, my printers, most inkjet aqueous printers, do not have white ink. So it's going to be kind of tricky to reproduce this because I have to use white paper and I have to print the black ink. So it's going to use a ton of ink, but also just making sure that it comes through right is going to be difficult. And this piece is on this incredibly thin paper. I mean, I can see my fingers through it. It's, you can see a lot of the fibers in it. It's going to be hard to get that across in video. So I ordered some paper that I have not worked with before. It is from Red River. It is called the Noori Hanji paper, and it has a similar texture. It's a little bit thicker. The concern with something this thin is I'm going to be dumping a lot of ink on that piece of paper to make it black. So something that thin, this paper is really thin, so it's going to soak in a ton of ink, and I don't know how it's going to handle that. Fortunately, this is far from smooth, so if the paper isn't completely smooth, I don't really think that that's going to be an issue. I went ahead and I hung this up. I photographed it with, first time using a linear polarizer filter that I got. This isn't something that would be really reflective, but I'm trying to just use that on everything now. A linear polarizer on the lens with linear polarizing film on my strobes. I did do one quick test with the paper with a sample sheet I ordered from Red River, and I found that in the areas with ink, the fibers are not really that obvious. I think the paper would be really cool for stuff that has a lot more negative space, a lot more just blank white space in the image. But Mikado liked the test, so we ordered a roll and we're gonna go ahead and create the print with that paper. Moab has a similar looking paper, but it's even thinner and it's a lot more expensive. So the ink saturation has me a little concerned. So I went ahead and ordered the Red River paper for this test. All right, so I got the Noori Hanji paper and I ran a print. Setup was super easy. It doesn't have its own ICC profiles, at least yet. So on my Canons, I used the Premium Pro Matte, whatever standard paper setting, as instructed by Red River. So shooting this image, I took advantage of the Sony pixel shift and I did a 16 image composite that left me with this awesome 18,000 pixel wide file. I've done some reviews in the past where I wasn't super stoked with the pixel shift. This time it worked awesome. I got crazy detail. So I'll definitely be working more with that feature. Anyways, the customer, whose name is actually Makoto, came in and we checked out the image after I shot it before I printed anything. He really liked the way it came out. So I loaded the paper up, ran the print, and couldn't be happier with the results. My concerns about all the ink on this paper, no worries at all. It's not super smooth, but the paper isn't smooth, so I don't think it's a big deal. It just doesn't, it works. The texture of the paper isn't as noticeable as I thought it would be. The back of the paper is rougher than the front. If you look at the back, the texture is really, really obvious. On the front, the texture is pretty obvious in the white areas. So like I said, I think this would look really cool if you were working with the right image that had a lot of negative space or white space. But the texture is still there and it adds a lot. It really pushes it more towards what the original looks like than if I had just printed it on smooth paper. Makoto hasn't come in and seen the print yet. He's coming to pick it up today. I'm pretty sure he's gonna love it. And this is getting mounted on this drum, which is really cool. That's a whole nother thing. But I'm really excited about this paper. I posted a thing about it on my Instagram and a bunch of people seemed pretty stoked. So I have this roll of it now. If you're out there and you're interested in checking it out, feel free to reach out. But I have a feeling other customers are gonna be really excited about that. It's just different, you know. I print all these images all the time on the same few papers, and I've never really branched out into different unique papers, and I'm gonna start doing that a lot more because I think this is just it's really cool, and it's just something that makes the art a little bit different. Whether or not it's better at representing the original doesn't really matter. It looks really cool in this piece. But I did have somebody message me and ask if I thought it would work with their art, and I said no. There's just some stuff I think it'll look really cool with, some stuff I don't. That's personal choice. So if you're interested, order some, come into my shop, check it out if you're local. But kudos to Red River. This is the Noori. There's also a Baram. When I got my samples, the Baram was more interesting to me because the texture wasn't as strong. But after having actually printed with it, I really like this stuff, and I think I would actually like it more than the Baram. I'm probably gonna order a roll of the Baram as well because I like this so much, and I'll do another review on that. But there you go, I hope this was helpful. If you are thinking of ordering this Red River Hanji Noori paper and you're not sure if you think it'll work with your art, I say go for it. It's really cool and it prints really, really well. So I also wanted to add that this art, Makoto clarified with me that what it is it's a combination of Japanese folk art called Gyotaku and European nature printing, where it wasn't painted. It was made from getting direct impressions from salmon and from filbert nuts and leaves. So that's why the original piece is on such thin paper, because he inked these things and he basically stamped it on there. I didn't know if this was something he painted, but it's so realistic looking that kind of explains why. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.